Hey everyone, it's Bob or Dog Q Bones. Welcome to the very first installment of Alchemy. Wish I had a nice sound effect and maybe a rainbow. That'd be nice. I'm not very good at it though. Nevertheless, so I played through the Alchemy events. I've been playing a few decks. I've been really enjoying it personally. I know that the wildcard situation is a little rough, but for a lot of decks, you actually don't really need that many wildcards. Like, most decks are only playing like 1 to 2 new cards. So, it hurts a little bit, of course, but I haven't found it too hard for me personally, but I'm also a pretty entrenched player. Nevertheless, for those who want to jump into Alchemy without feeling like they're left out and they don't want to spend too many wildcards, here's the perfect deck to start off with. So, all these cards, except for a Sigardian Evangel, which is not even necessary per se. But anyway, this entire deck, except for Evangel and the Inquisitor Captain, are old cards. They're all mostly good cards, so a lot of people own them. You could also just go a pure mono white variant if it's making it harder for you to play this. But nevertheless, this deck revolves around Inquisitor Captain. This is a brand new card from Alchemy. This card is nuts. It's like Collected Company on a stick, kind of, except you can just never miss, and one of your hits is always a 3/3 Vigilance, which, not amazing necessarily, but still very, very powerful. However, the reason I'm going blue at all is because of the amazing synergy with Glasspool Mimic. So Glasspool Mimic is just a clone. But if you play Inquisitor Captain, hit a Glasspool Mimic, you can copy the Inquisitor Captain and do it again, which I've already done twice, I believe. And it's just amazing. Turn 4, and suddenly you have 3 bodies on board. That's a huge tempo swing. The second new card is Sigardian Evangel. I was playing around with the 2-drops. This list is not necessarily perfect, I would say. There's probably a lot of different ways you can go about it. But Evangel has seemed really good so far. It gives you something to do with excess mana, and just a 3/1 is also just powerful. But beyond that, it's mostly just a normal aggro deck. You have your 1s, you have the new Luminarch, which of course is a bit worse, but it really hasn't felt that much worse. Not being able to buff before combat has made some combats more relevant, but I think it's fine, honestly. Thalia is obviously great. Spellbinder is great. Skyclave is great. Linvala has actually been really, really good. It's been my favorite hit off Inquisitor Captain, hence the 3 of. And right now I'm playing 22 lands. I was playing 24 with 4 Glasspool Mimic. But I found I was flooding kind of often. I'm thinking maybe 23 is actually the right amount, because you want to be casting Glasspool Mimic more often than not. So maybe going to 22 is a little greedy when mono white actually plays 23. You know what? Let's actually do that right now. You're seeing it live. 10 plains or 3 islands. We only have those 2, so I think 10 blue sources should be enough. But yeah, so I actually do this all the time when I'm building decks. I just take a look at it and I'm like, you know what? I think this needs a quick change, so I just do it. So let's run it. Let's run some games. This deck's been really good for me. As I said before, you can easily go mono white. You don't have to play the blue. I think the blue is pretty good. But that's me. All right, let's get my camera in the right spot. That seems like a good spot for it. All right, let's take a look. We're on the draw. Never want to be on the draw, but this is a very good hand. We have 2, 3, into 4, assuming we hit a land, but, odds are pretty good. I do only play 6 1-drops, so it's not terribly surprising I didn't start with 1. You could also go up to 8, but I don't think you want too many because of Inquisitor Captain. Let's just run out the plains. It's fine. So they're probably going to be black-white Edgars, presumably, but we'll see. Okay, so they're holding up something. 3rd Luminarch. So let's go Thalia, because it seems like they're holding open a removal spell, and Thalia makes it that they lose their turn functionally. So that's pretty nice. Inferno Grasp it. There you go. Very nice. Okay. So I'll just keep playing out the plains. There's no problem. Luminarch right now. It's, functionally a Sam card, obviously, because I can't attack, so not the biggest deal. Blue black. Okay. That's a little scary because of Meat Hook Massacre specifically. But if they kill Luminarch, they already killed Thalia, that would tell me that they probably don't have a board wipe in hand. We'll see. But if they just pass here, I don't think I could play Inquisitor Captain. It's just a little too risky. So what I'm going to do is just attack with Luminarch, see what they do. If they kill it, then I think I could safely Inquisitor Captain, but considering that they didn't, I'm just going to go double Luminarch Aspirant. Gonna buff that to a 4/4. They're just letting this all go through. So maybe I just buff it to a 5/5. I think I will. Because if they have Meathook Massacre, they're going to be able to kill my other Luminarchs regardless. So I'd rather have the biggest possible creature. It's something like Shadow's Verdict. Shadow's Verdict still legal, actually? It is, right? I feel like it's been around forever, but I can't actually remember. So in fairness, this is a bit annoying because this could allow them to do that for one and then hold up a removal spell, but it doesn't seem like they have it. So I want to play the Cave, but I am afraid of Jwari Disruption specifically. So I am going to play the Plains to play around that. They have to have Reject specifically. Siphon Insight. Okay. That shouldn't be too good for them. Hey, there we go. We get to do it immediately. I did really want that Elite Spellbinder, but okay. Linvala, unfortunately, is not the best against Meathook Massacre specifically, but she has still been pretty good for me. Like a Meathook for 4 here would be pretty nasty. So in that vein, maybe I should have just added the counter to the Luminarch again, in case they do have landed to second Meathook Massacre. But generally, Dimir doesn't play that many copies, so I like diversifying. Okay, that's fine. Sure. That doesn't really do anything. Can kind of just start beating through. So I could Skyclave Sorin. That seems a little sus, though. I don't want to give them a 4/4 if they're able to board wipe me again. Oh, all right, there you go. And that's, oh my goodness. Like, that's just the power of Inquisitor Captain, right? Like, the card is just so good. Like, I know I hate Glasspool Mimic, which, well, you know, I built the deck in such a way that that can happen, right? But, ugh, so good. The card is just nuts. But that didn't feel like super unfair. Like they could have, like, I don't know. You have a few removal spells. It's not like you just die, and I have to add blue to make that possible. And obviously, I'm not going to hit Glasspool every single time. It's more of a rarity. Yeah, we'll keep that. I don't know, like, I'm really enjoying Alchemy so far. Nothing has felt, like, oppressive. Like, in Standard, you can play Epiphany, Mono White, Mono Green. That's pretty much it. You can play Mono Black if you want, but, you know, just lose to Epiphany every single time. Not for me. But, you know, here, everything feels kind of tempered. I know a lot of people were also not happy with the Luminarch Aspirant change. I actually think it was kind of genius, not gonna lie. Like, the card is not oppressive, because oppressive is definitely the wrong word. It's not oppressive. But the card is really, really good. I think I want to go this, because I'm not entirely sure what they're playing. Let's grow our stuff out of range. But it feels so much fairer. Like, you can actually defend against it meaningfully. I don't know, and I think that's a pretty big deal. Oof, double Blizzard Brawl? Ugh. I was wondering why they were playing the Highland Force, but that answers it. Sheesh. We did whiff. Definitely not happy about that. Let's start growing there. It is a second captain for what it's worth, so that could definitely be worse. But, okay, so that's... Oof. That's a wolf or a werewolf, right? Yeah. As bad as this feels, gotta do it that way. So I really should have put it on the Usher then. Couldn't have known, but definitely hurts. Do I attack with Usher here? Yeah, probably. They'll definitely block. So, if I put it on Usher, that would have worked way, way better for me. But, wasn't sure. Rending Flame. Interesting. Oh, it's because it's a spirit, too. Oh, my goodness. What a blowout. All right, but here comes the captain. Crunchitize me, captain. Yeah, we'll take the Linvala. Now their removal is going to be a little hard-pressed. All right, fair enough. They probably should have attacked first, but... because now they can't attack at all, pretty much. The cool thing about Tenacious Pup, too, is that they don't need to cast a spell this turn. They could just wait. So that's pretty nasty. So... obviously, I want to go Inquisitor Captain, but Brutal Catharing that 3/3 is pretty nice. But what if they play something that's even scarier, right? So I think I'm just going to Inquisitor Captain for now. Hey, got another Luminarch. All right, that's really, really good for me. I will offer the trade. I think that's fine. Because I can just Cathar their next play. Oh my goodness, make it stop. So many Rending Flames. Ouch. Ooh, Evangel. Okay. That's not bad at all. So I can go double Evangel here. Could also wait. Spellbinder's not doing much beyond being a big flyer, so I think I'm going to just do a big flyer right now. I think I'd rather save Evangel for when the tap ability matters more. Could be off on that, but we'll see how that goes. We shall see how that works out for me. All right, I definitely want Tovolar out of here. That's way too scary. Don't want to use Evangel yet because I draw a land. I go nuts. End turn. Let's just keep growing that lead Spellbinder. They've already used 3 Rending Flames and 2 Blizzard Brawls. Ooh, okay. I was thinking that I wanted to play around that, but what were the odds of them drawing the 3rd immediately, I guess? That's pretty unfortunate for me. That was good, though. So we Skyclave. Take out the Tovolar, because that's their draw engine. I still want to hold on the Evangel, I think. That's tough. I think I'm going to grow the Skyclave. If nothing else, if they whiff on the lands, they can't buff up the pup. And attack. Oh my god, how many Tovolars is that? So many Tovolar. Only attacking with that. That's interesting. So this gets rid of a Stormseeker and gives them a Spirit. I'm pretty about that. And now the power of the Evangel shall save us all. Yep. Evangel's great too. All right, that was a very back and forth game. I thought I had it for a while, then that got scary. But thankfully, pulled it out in the end. What do we get? Academic Dispute. Awesome. A card I probably owned 5,000 copies of. Oh, quick tip for those looking to play Alchemy. There's a deal in the store that for 15k gold, you can get 15 packs or 20 packs. I forgot exactly what it was. It's a one-time deal, but if you're interested in playing Alchemy, you should probably do it. That's a very good deal for packs. Or not 15k, like 1,500 gold? I don't know. I don't exactly remember the amount, but it was a fair amount. Okay. Yeah, this is a little slow, but has interaction, has lands. Can't be too mad at that. I can play Glasspool 1, Cave 2, Beach 3. Okay, now I don't even have to play Glasspool. So now the question is, do I want to save Glasspool to copy something? And I think the answer is yes. So I just draw like one more land. I really won't need it. And I can just do this later. I'll only feel sad if this messes up like me playing an Inquisitor Captain on curve. But considering they're blue, I want to play around Jwari Disruption as much as humanly possible. So that smells to me like a Spike Field Hazard, like a second one. It could be Consider, so I'm still going to run out the Luminarch. And plus, I do, like, you know, the deck is very mana intensive. Play Blessed Bolt. I didn't expect that. But the deck is so mana intensive generally that making them use a land to kill one of my creatures is a pretty good deal. Most of the time. Plus, I have Elite Spellbinder too, so. Alright, we're drawing plenty of lands. Let's see. Am I gonna get Jwari? If the Jwari here, then I don't feel so bad. Okay. Let's take a look-see. I'll take their Divide by 0. Oh! No! Alright, they do have double blue. So I take their Absorb, they Abrade, they pass with Deluge. I go Inquisitor Captain, they Deluge. Not amazing for me, admittedly. But that's what's gonna happen. End the festivities. Sheesh. Interesting. So they're not going to go for the Deluge this turn. Presumably they're going to end the festivities. Oh, Wandering Minds. Okay. Okay. Man, that's pretty good against my Sigardian Evangel, huh? Sheesh. They used one, but not the second. Yeah, we're just gonna go Inquisitor Captain. Yeehaw. What do we get? Let's go. Whee! Ah, sure. We'll take it. Take the Abrade. It's not awful. I don't want them to double spell, so I'm gonna take the End of Festivities. That was a pretty nasty turn, and I can Glass Pull because I already hit a Glass Pull to do another Captain now. It's pretty swell. Pretty swell. And the Festivities. That's so interesting. Like, that seems really good if they're expecting a lot of, like, Sigardian Evangels and stuff. I'm trying to think, what other X ones were printed? I don't know. That's kind of like low-key genius. I feel like Cinderclasm might just be better, but I like where their head's at. Iteration, okay. Surprised this wasn't a card that they nailed. I guess, like, how would you do it? Make it 3 mana? That's kind of unplayable then. Okay, so now they can only Abrade. Luminarch. Ooh. Okay. So I was just going to Glass Pull into a Captain. But now I could Luminarch, buff up my Elite Spellbinder, and Hopeful Initiate? That's not bad. Is that better than Inquisitor Captain? It is if I don't specifically hit an X1. I think that's better. Nevertheless, I don't have to make the decision now. I'm just going to attack first. And then depending on what they do, that can help dictate my decision. Even a Vigilance, like, what does this card not do? It's so good. So I'm assuming they're going to Abrade and take. That would make the most sense to me. Yeah, I think Luminarch, it's a Hopeful Initiate, is what I want to be doing. That just seems too good. Because I get my Elite Spellbinder out of range. I don't get out of Wandering Mind range, though. So, actually, that's a good point. I forgot to think about. It doesn't get out of Wandering Mind range. Know what? I am going to Glass Pull, I think. I've, like, kind of talked myself out of it. And I still get to play Hopeful Initiate, so. Not ideal. Because now they get to kill both. Definitely not what I was looking for, but it does force their hand at least, so it's something. And it was a free Thalia, so it's not like I'm getting that blown out, realistically. Definitely not the end of the world. Doesn't feel great, not the end of the world. Alright, well, let's keep the gravy train rolling, huh? I'll admit I'm a little afraid of like a burn down the house. I should probably be playing with a little more caution, but this is a little too much fun. I'm gonna take their Deluge because their Wandering Mind I could just keep tapped down with the Sigardian Evangels. So I don't want them to go like Deluge and find a way out. I want to incentivize them to go Wandering Mind, thinking they're safe behind a removal spell, and then I could just double Evangel. All right, but they felt that they couldn't find a way out anyway. So be it. It's already been 20 minutes. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. You know what? I always have such long videos. Let's actually do a shorter video for once. I think I properly demonstrated what this deck's capable of. I did high roll a little bit with Inquisitor Captain. Here, let's talk about it quickly. Hold up. Beep. Nice profile of my Shanaz. Beautiful. So I think I pretty adequately demonstrated what this deck's all about. Inquisitor Captain's great. If you combine it with Glasspool Mimic, I think it's even better. Linvala has been great. A card that hasn't really seen the light of day, but she just works so well when you get it for free. Evangel has felt good. You definitely don't need Evangel. So if you're looking to play something else, other things I had in that slot, you can go more Wonder Ups if you want to have a more aggressive curve, which is completely fine. You can go Spectral Adversary. Here, let's take a look at that. Spectral Adversary. Very reasonable. There was one more. There's even stuff like Loyal Warhound and such that I thought were very reasonable. But I'd probably go for more one-drops or Spectral Adversary before I went for Loyal Warhound. I feel like I'm the only one who likes that card, but I think it's pretty good. But anyway, yeah. This deck has been great for me. We just 3-0'd. I believe I won 3 more, I think, prior to recording, just to make sure this deck was up to snuff. This is slightly different than the list I presented in my white article, but this feels pretty good. I think this might be the final list. Like, the curve has felt good. Like, the Glasspool Mimic has definitely felt more than worth it. 22 lands. I'm not positive if it's 22 or 23. If you want to go up to 23 lands, I'd probably suggest cutting either the Cathar or the Evangel. But I think 22, 23 is going to get you where you need. But yeah, that's it for me. This deck is great. I'm enjoying Alchemy. I cannot wait to keep playing decks. I already tried some Omnath stuff that felt great. The green-white value deck that I wrote about briefly in the review, I cannot wait to try that. That deck seems really sweet. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of space to explore, and it just feels like a brand new format, really interesting format. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.